Hello and welcome. I have some very encouraging news to report in that the most universally hated criminal corporation in all of human history, Monsanto, is now formally charged with crimes against humanity with the case set for trial in The Hague in October of 2016. I'm guessing you've not yet seen this groundbreaking news in mainstream mockingbird media. No, and of course you won't, and it's a safe bet they'll do their utmost to keep it from you. Corrupt media censorship notwithstanding, this landmark case will have an unavoidable knock-on effect to the corrupt financial, corporate, military, scientific and governmental agencies responsible for the contrived global crisis and its ever-worsening conditions. These unconscionable socio-psychopathic criminals have trashed the planet's environment to the brink of irrecoverable ruin. I've devoted numerous video presentations to highlighting the countless crimes of this unspeakably evil ilk, but today I'd like to quote from a recent article entitled Manifesto of the Awakened from noteworthy writer and international presenter Zen Gardner. Zen's article issues a clear notice of intent while drawing a line in the sand. He articulates the following, which is directed to the above mentioned criminals. And I quote, "We are aware of your destructive programs to sicken and alter humanity through chemical, electromagnetic and genetic modification of our food, plants, animals and ourselves. We are aware of your wanton destruction of our earth, skies and oceans through resource exploitation, geoengineering and weather modification. We are aware of your many false flag events and surreptitious strategy of tension schemes purposely designed to keep the world in perpetual fear and continual wars against fabricated outside enemies for control and profit. We are aware of your fascist medical designs to drain and destroy humanity via decrepit allopathic medical systems based on profit and ill health at every level, including the proliferation of pharmaceuticals, invasive and debilitating treatments, and deliberately damaging vaccines. We are aware of your moves towards a worldwide police state based on hyperbolized fear and disinformation to manipulate humanity in order to get an unspoken imprimatur to execute your program of control and subjugation. We are aware that your political crony establishment is all staged and designed to distract from real issues and keep the populace occupied and feeling like participants while you work your nefarious program. We are aware of your falsely imposed vampiristic taxation system to fund further bureaucratic bloat, controls an overarching agenda of genocidal wars upon innocent people, and that it is arbitrary and our sovereign choice is to simply not participate any longer. We are aware that a select few major corporations with vested interests in this global agenda now control almost all media, and that mass media is nothing more than a mouthpiece of propaganda to these ends. We are aware that your entertainment industry is simply socially engineered entrainment towards personal and social distraction, chaos and degradation. We are aware of your AI, electromagnetic grid and mind manipulating designs and technologies that are being imposed to further expand your psychopathic control system. We are aware that you repress emerging technologies that threaten existing parasitical, profitable ones, such as the hazardous petroleum and nuclear industries, when alternative energy sources and other such solutions have arisen for many decades which you have suppressed. We are aware that you sequester knowledge and information in a vast array of fields to keep the general populace in the dark and thereby disempowered as to our true historical context, while you are coveting secret information and carrying out advanced covert research for your own ends. We are aware that you have stigmatized, marginalized and seek to outlaw any form of criticism, questioning or dissent using whatever excuse you can manufacture. We are aware of your oppressive, enslaving monetary and illegal control scams, private fractionalized banking pillaging, and twisted cravings for money and power in an imposed control system that never needed to exist in the first place. We are aware of your falsely postured institutions, foundations, institutes, charitable organisations, and international bodies such as the so-called United Nations and its many agencies and agendas being used to further develop your global control plans and programs. We are aware of your secret societies, bloodline allegiances, and Luciferian, Freemasonic, Babylonian, and otherworldly roots that propel the wickedness of your self-appointed leaders. We are aware of your ritual sacrifices, pedophilia, and bestiality inclinations, and other sordid practices, all of which are anathema to our conscious race. Ad nauseum. This will be tolerated no longer. Furthermore, we are aware that you know we are onto you. We stand fearless, fully committed to humanity's well-being. You are shallow, self-serving, and seriously misled, guns for hire, working for a control system being engineered by powers beyond your knowledge that will devour you, just as you seek to devour us. We are aware of who you are. Your days are numbered. Your designs will soon be visited upon your heads if you do not drastically change your ways. Universal law dictates it. You know it, and we know it. Hence your sloppy, miscreant behaviour being so thoroughly exposed, which you so furiously attempt to deny and suppress. This futile lashing out only works toward the exposure of open truth and the awakening's favour. End quote. Zen's erudite article goes on to declare even more potent instruction to these vile vanguards of villainy, but I think what I've quoted here captures the essence, and I couldn't agree with him more. I recommend reading the full online article, as the outstanding effort is not only informatively valuable but actually reassuring. What Zen states is 100% authentic, with increasingly ever more people declaring awareness of the escalating government-driven crime wave engulfing the world. And not before time, with the latest fracking-induced environmental catastrophe of the Californian Porter Ranch uncontained gas leak. This disaster has already caused the evacuation of 2,200 families, with a further 6,000 desperate to escape the increasingly toxified region. The US currently has 500,000 active gas wells, which require 72 trillion gallons of water and 360 billion gallons of chemicals to run, all for a product that isn't needed. Adding insult to injury is the increased incidence of spraying fracking's toxic industrial wastewater onto public roads in the full knowledge that it contains dangerous compounds including ammonium, iodide, heavy metals, bromide, and radioactive materials. The massive California gas leak is declared a national emergency, spewing out 30,000 kilograms of methane per hour, 24 hours a day, and as of the time of this recording, it's still ongoing. Now, you can do the math in terms of volume if you have the stomach for it. Any sane or rational individual would consider a catastrophe of such unprecedented magnitude would urgently jolt responsible governments and Darrigan Shire fracking shills to immediately abandon their sycophantic support of this criminal ecocide. As of December 22nd, the leaking Porter Ranch well had released an additional 1.6 million metric tons of carbon dioxide. And that's just one incidence of the countless many fracking disasters. Since 2014, Oklahoma had endured 5,415 fracking-induced earthquakes, with another 70 already recorded in 2016. And yet the fracking industry continues its pathetic attempts to deny what are incontestable facts. Worse still is that anyone speaking out against fracking is branded a domestic terrorist and subjected to unlawful harassment and even detained at airports, as with the recent case of British filmmaker and activist Ian R. Crane. Ian is also the presenter of the noteworthy YouTube productions of Fracking Nightmare and Humanity versus Insanity. I strongly recommend viewing his brilliant expose documentary, Voices from the Gasfields, that can be viewed for free online. Even more criminal insanity is that frackers Transurf Energy plan to commence flaring the Warrow drill wells in the middle of a total fire ban. Local residents are strictly prohibited from lighting so much as a barbecue, but these reckless vandals are apparently allowed to fire off massive tongues of flame that will toxify the atmosphere and defy the standing fire ban order with total impunity. It's almost beyond belief, but sadly it is happening. Like most Cervantes and Jurien Bay residents, I moved to this region so as to enjoy the unspoiled nature of the surrounds and the hitherto unpolluted atmosphere. Early this morning on my daily beach hike, I counted over a dozen obscene chemtrails befouling an erstwhile pristine sky, and can shortly expect the unlawful commencement of localised flaring of gas wells. The question is, how much more will it take before enough people wake up and put an end to it? Thanks for watching.